right, first of all, I want to thank God because a lot jumping, and I've been through a lot, and it's a lot of pain in my head right now. So, Father up in heaven, you know what happened. I ask you to forgive me of my sins. I ask you to take pain from my noggin, from my skull. Oh, it hurts so bad. Take that pain away in Jesus' name. I ask you to bless me. Forgive me of my sins. I ask you to be with me all the days of my life. I ask you to give me knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as I dive into your word. Give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and comprehension. May the person listening to the voice of my Lord, may the person listening to the voice of the word coming from me, may they be encouraged to pick up the Bible and read it themselves. Father up in heaven, watch over me and my family in Jesus' name. Keep me, my family, and even my enemies. Father up in heaven, you know me before I was born, before I was here. I ask you to be with me. You see what I'm tired of? I ask you to help me in my straightening it out. Nothing but a little bit of straightening, we're going to straighten it. In Jesus' name, we can get it all squared away. Amen. Okay, so no time to play today. Could you please hit the like button for the horn? I give you another horn just for hit the like button for me, buddy. Man, you got me honking the horn. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Now. That's what I'm talking about. You get a couple more horns for that. But yeah, my head hurting a little bit, man. God be with me. No matter what's going on, like I be trying to just keep going, but I be like, hold up, gotta stop and pray. No problem, brother, no problem. It's a lot be going on, happening fast. Sometimes you just gotta stop and pray. Yeah, ain't no problem, my brother. Double salute, man. Ain't no problem. Appreciate you hitting the like button. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're gonna get into this word right now. I'm on Samuel 1. This is chapter 19. David protected from Saul. Now Saul told Jonathan his son and all his servants to put David to death. But Jonathan, Saul's son, greatly delighted in David. So Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father is seeking to put you to death. Now therefore, please be on guard in the morning, and stay in a secret place and hide yourself. I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where you are, and I will speak with my father about you. If I find out anything, then I will tell you. Then Jonathan spoke well of David to Saul his father and said to him, do not let the king sin against his servant David, since he has not sinned against you, and since his deeds have been very beneficial to you. For he took his life in his hand and struck the Philistines. And the Lord brought about a great deliverance for all Israel. You saw it and rejoiced. Why then will you sin against innocent blood by putting David to death without a cause? Saul listened to the voice of Jonathan, and Saul sold as the Lord lives, and Saul vowed, as the Lord lives, he shall not be put to death. Then Jonathan called David, and Jonathan told him all these words. And Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence as formerly. When there was war again, David went out and fought with the Philistines and defeated them with great slaughter, so that they fled before him. Now there was an evil spirit from the Lord on Saul as he was sitting in his house with his spear in his hand, and David was playing the harp with his hand. Saul tried to pin David to the wall with the spear, but he slipped away out of Saul's presence, so that he struck the spear into the wall, and David fled and escaped that night. Then Saul sent messengers to David's house to watch him, in order to put him to death in the morning. But Micaiah, David's wife, told him, saying, if you do not save yourself tonight, tomorrow you will be put to death. So Micaiah let David down through a window, and he went out and fled and escaped. Micaiah took the household idols and laid it on the bed, and put a quilt of goat's hair at his head, and covered it with clothes. When Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, he is sick. Then Saul sent messengers to see David, saying, bring him up to me on his bed, that I may put him to death. When the messengers entered, behold, the household idol was on the bed with the quilt of goat's hair at its head. So Saul said to Micaiah, why have you deceived me like this, and let my enemy go, so that he has escaped? And Micaiah said to Saul, he said to me, let me go. Why should I put you to death? Now David fled and escaped and came to Samuel at Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he said, and he and Samuel went and stayed in Naioth. It was told Saul, saying, behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah. Then Saul sent messengers to take David, but when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying with Samuel standing and presiding over them, the Spirit of God came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. When it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they also prophesied. So Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they also prophesied. So everybody he was sending to kill David was getting the Holy Spirit on him. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Hey, man, keep going. You're going to make it to 100, buddy. But when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they also prophesied. So Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they also prophesied. Then he himself went to Ramah and came as far as the large well that is in Sikku. And he asked and said, where are Samuel and David? And someone said, behold, they are at Naioth in Ramah. He proceeded there to Naioth in Ramah, and the Spirit of God came upon him also, so that he went along prophesying continually until he came to Naioth in Ramah. He also stripped off his clothes, and he too prophesied before Samuel and lay down naked all that day and all that night. Therefore they say, is Saul also among the prophets? This seems so interesting that I want to keep going, y'all. But y'all know what time it is. Y'all already know what time. We got to hit it, man. We got to hit it. So we're going to have to flash back and tune back in for that. We had number 20. Saul done sent some people trying to kill David, right? But David had done went to Samuel. You know, Samuel, the prophet of God. So everybody Saul sent to kill David, they started prophesying right with Samuel and David. He sent 3 batches of people, and all 3 of them prophesied, started prophesying, and they killed David. Then Saul went down there himself, like all 3 of these, you know, he sent three, like that's like you sending out 3 camps of soldiers to go kill somebody. The first camp don't come back, so you send another one. The second camp don't come back, you send a third one. The third camp didn't come back. Saul was like, you know what? I'm gonna go kill David myself. Y'all playing. Y'all like this dude too much. I'm gonna kill him myself. So Saul goes down there and he started prophesying. Nobody's putting hands on David, okay? What's up, UK? Yeah. What's up, David? Hitman. Chirac gaming. What you be gaming on? Xbox or PS5? All right, y'all. So we're going to get back in that scripture later, but right now we're doing financial IQ, increasing our financial IQ. I do a little bit of this too. If you hear any giblets, if you hear any gems while I'm reading, go ahead and drop it in the comment for somebody else can see it later on. All right, what we stopped on last time, number 3, eternal rate of return. One or more complex, sophisticated, and often confusing measure of rate of return is the eternal rate of return. If investors really know what they are doing, they can increase the ROI by understanding the IRR. The following diagram explains, as simple as possible, this more advanced way of measuring true investors' returns. In oversimplified terms, eternal rate of return, IRR, measures the other returns and other leverage that a well-controlled investment can provide. And I'll show y'all the diagrams like I always do. So there go that whole page. You can screenshot it and read it for yourself. And I'm going to show you the diagram on this one too. I'll try to make sure I get the whole page in there. Y'all can pause it, screenshot it, do whatever you need to do. So, okay, number 1. In the income column what I just showed y'all where it say passive income, Most people understand that gross rents are part of the income column, yet IRR, internal rate of return, also measures other forms of income. Passive income is subject to lower tax rates than earned income. In the U.S., passive income is not subject to Social Security or self-employment taxes. In other words, these taxes do not show up as expenses in the expense column, which is technically a gain in income. Expense column, depreciation. In the U.S., the tax department gives some investors an additional income that actually looks like an expense. This income is known as depreciation. Another term for depreciation is phantom income. The reason it is phantom income is because it's income that shows up somewhere else. For example, let's say my tax bill is $1,000. The IRS may allow me to depreciate my investment by $200, allowing me to only pay $800 in taxes. This additional $200 is phantom income, or money I did not have to pay. It is $200 that remains in my pocket instead of going to the government. Depreciation is allowed for such things as refrigerators, ceiling fans, carpets, furniture, and other items that decline in value with age. A tax accountant can explain this to you if you own a business or real estate. There is no such thing as a depreciation for paper asset investors. Number 3, liability column, amortization. Another form of income to the investor is known as amortization, which is a fancy word for paying off debt on a scheduled basis. When you have good debt that someone else, such as a renter, pays for, you amortize become income to you. When you have good debt that someone else, such as a renter, pays for you, amortization becomes income to you. In other words, as a tenant pays down my debt, that payment is technically income to me. Income that is paid to reduce my debt as my cash stays in my pocket, ready for the next great investment opportunity to come my way. Additionally, while my tenant is paying down my debt, I still receive all the tax benefits associated with my investment. Number 4, the asset column, appreciation. Appreciation is the increase in the asset value. There is also income to you. This is not appreciation based upon some appraiser's idea of an increase in sale price based on the comparativeness sales in the area. The way I measure appreciation is by the actual increase in income to my income column. For example, the increase of $360,000 in income from my 300-unit apartment house is measurable. This is not an exact method for defining internal rate of return, but it gives you an idea of how an investor can increase his or her return on investment far higher than most investors can receive from paper asset. At least you have an idea of what an internal rate of return is. I would guess 95% of investors have never heard of internal rate return, so you are now smarter and sharper than 95% of investors. And next we got the exit strategy. The exit strategy is coming up next. Appreciate you, my brother. The exit strategy is coming up next, but what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tap back in for the exit strategy. And that Bible reading was getting so good, I think I'm going to do another one later on tonight, maybe like midnight, sometime before midnight. I'm going to do another reading because the book Samuel is getting good. It's getting juicy, man, and I got to get to it. Understand? And also getting that word in us. You know what I'm saying? We drawing closer to God, trying to understand how God want us to treat each other, how God want us to treat people. You know what I'm saying? The best way to be in the world so we can get the best blessings in the world. The only way we're going to get these millions is we grind hard, work hard, do our things, stashing, saving money, being disciplined, being diligent. But the main, easiest way to get this money is to talk to our Father up in heaven and have him release the funds. Because when he released the funds, It's going to be fun. You heard me? I don't want to get it no other way. I want God to release the funds. Couple million, my account. You know what I'm saying? I can help a few people. That's all. That's all. I'm saying I don't think it's too hard. But let me go ahead and get to the money because we loaded. We loaded, baby. We loaded. I need to call Nina. Which I get to a truck stop first, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm going to call Nina now. I'm going to holler at y'all. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Make sure you comment. You understand me? Give y'all like a minute. Somebody hit the like button for me. Who ain't hit the like button yet? UK, you hit the like button? David, you hit the like button? Let me see. David, you hit the like button? Yeah, Joshua Bradley, I know you hit the like button. Hit, man, Chicago. Gaming, your birthday, you hit the like button? Somebody else hit that like button for me, man, so I can get up out of here, man. I just need a like, and they gonna share it out. I promise. Step by step, man. Step by step. Hey, y'all hit that like button for me. Hit the like button, somebody. Yo, we got action. Why y'all ain't hit the like button for your boy, man? Hit the like button. Alright, we gotta wait another little minute before we take off. Y'all know I was about to take off, right? But since we gotta wait another little minute, I'm gonna go and get another chop in there, ain't it? Cause that thing was getting good. Feel me? I gotta see what happened. That man trying to get that. Saul trying to get David, man. We gotta see what's gonna happen, man. So we in Samuel 1. This chapter 20, we're going to continue to reading because we got to wait for a minute. So we're going to continue reading instead of just procrastinating and bull BSing. We're going to get back to it. David and Jonathan covenant. Then David fled from the Nile in Ramah and came and said to Jonathan, what have I done? What is my iniquity? And what is my sin before your father that he is seeking my life? He said to him, far from it, you shall not die. Behold, my father does nothing either great or small without disclosing it to me. So why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so. Yet David vowed again, saying, your father knows well that I have found favor in your sight. And he has said, do not let Jonathan know this, or he will be grieved. But truly as the Lord lives, and as your soul lives, there is hardly a step between me and death. Then Jonathan said to David, whatever you say, I will do for you. David said to Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I ought to sit down to eat with the king. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field until the third evening. If your father misses me at all, then say, David earnestly asked leave of me to run to Bethlehem, his city, because it is the yearly sacrifice there for the whole family. If he says, it is good, your servant will be safe. But if he is very angry, know that he has decided on evil. Therefore, deal kindly with your servant, for you have brought your servant into a covenant of the Lord with you. But if there is iniquity in me, put me to death yourself. For why then should you bring me to your father? Jonathan said, far be it from you. For if I should indeed learn that evil has been decided by my father to come upon you, then would I not tell you about it? Then David said to Jonathan, who will tell me if your father answers you harshly? Jonathan said to David, come, and let us go out into the field. So both of them went out to the field. Then Jonathan said to David, the Lord, the God of Israel, be witness. When I have sounded out my father about this time tomorrow, or the third day, behold, if there is a good feeling toward David, shall I not then send to you and make it known to you? If it please my father to do so, do you harm. May the Lord do so to Jonathan and more also, if I do not make it known to you and send you away, that you may go in safety. And may the Lord be with you as he has been with my father. If I am still alive, will you not show me the loving kindness of the Lord that I may not die? You shall not cut off your loving kindness from my house forever, not even when the Lord cuts off every one of the enemies of David from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, may the Lord require it at the hands of David's enemies. Jonathan made David vow again because of his love for him, because he loved him as he loved his own life. Then Jonathan said to him, tomorrow is the new moon, and you will be missed, because your seat will be empty. When you have stayed for 3 days, you shall go down quickly and come to the place where you hid yourself on that eventful day, and you shall remain by the stone. You shall remain by the stone Ezel. I will shoot 3 arrows to the side as though I shot at a target, and behold, I will send the lad saying, go, find the arrows. If I specifically say to the lad, behold, the arrows are on the side of you, get them, then come, for there is safety for you and no harm, as the Lord lives. But if I say to the youth, behold, the arrows are beyond you, go, for the Lord has sent you away. As the agreement of which you and I have spoken before the Lord is between you and me forever. So David hid in the field, and when the new moon came, the king sat down to eat food. The king sat on his seat, as usual, the seat by the wall. Then Jonathan rose up, and Abner sat down by Saul's side. But David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul did not speak anything that day, for he thought, it is an accident. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. It came about the next day, the second day of the new moon, that David's place was empty. So Saul said to Jonathan his son, why has the son of Jesse not come to the mill, either yesterday or today? Is Saul crazy or am I crazy? Man, you just tried to kill this man like 2 or 3 times, and now you talking about what David at? Why he ain't gonna eat with us? Bro, I ain't gonna eat with you, bro. You done threw that spear at me and tried to pin me to the wall. No, bro, I don't want to eat with you, bro. You foul. You're trying to kill me. I don't want to eat with you. I don't blame David. David like, I ain't eating with that boy. He crazy, man. I'm good, man. What he said. So Saul said, it is an accident. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. It came about the next day, the second day of the new moon, that David's place was empty. So Saul said to Jonathan his son, why has the son of Jesse not come to the mill, either yesterday or today? Jonathan then answered Saul, David earnestly asked leave of me to go to Bethlehem. For he said, please let me go, since our family has a sacrifice in the city, and my brother has commanded me to attend. And now, if I have found favor in your sight, please let me get away, that I may see my brothers. For this reason, he has not come to the king's table. Saul is angry with Jonathan. Then Saul's anger burnt against Jonathan. He said to him, you son of a perverse, rebellious woman, do I not know that you are choosing the son of Jesse to your own shame and to the shame of your mother's nakedness? For as long as the son of Jesse lives on earth, neither you nor your kingdom will be established. Therefore now send and bring him to me, for he must surely die. But Jonathan answered Saul his father and said to him, why should he be put to death? What has he done? Then Saul hurled his spear at him to strike him down. So Jonathan knew that his father had decided to put David to death. Then Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger, and he did not eat food on the second day of the new moon, for he was grieved over David because his father had dishonored him. Now it came about in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field for that appointed time with David, and a little lad was with him. He said to his lad, run, find now the arrows which I am about to shoot. As the lad was running, he shot an arrow past him. When the lad reached the place of the arrow which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan called after the lad and said, "Is not the arrow beyond you?" And Jonathan called after the lad, "Hurry, be quick, do not stay." And Jonathan the lad picked up the arrow and came to his master. But the lad was not aware of the thing. Only Jonathan and David knew about the matter. Then Jonathan gave his weapons to his lad and said to him, "Go bring them to the city." When the lad was gone, David rose from the south side and fell on his face to the ground and bowed 3 times. And they kissed each other and wept together. But David wept more. Jonathan said to David, "Go in safety, inasmuch as we have sworn to each other in the name of the Lord, saying, the Lord will be between me and you, and between my descendants and your descendants forever." Then he rose and departed, while Jonathan went into the city. Young Samuel L. Jackson, huh? Gotta be praying, gotta be praying. Gotta stay prayed up in these times. Well, we ain't get a call back. That means we still reading. We still waiting. Let's go on and knock another one out, man. Let's see what Jonathan and David getting into, man. David takes concentrated bread. So this after Jonathan just sent David away because he knows Saul trying to kill him. This is chapter 21. Okay, we gotta get some fresh air in here too. Yeah, get some fresh air in this thing, man. You understand me? Fresh is it? Okay, I got it. Chapter 21. Then David came to Nob, to Ahimelech the priest, and Ahimelech came trembling to meet David and said to him, "Why are you alone and no one with you?" David said to Ahimelech the priest, "The king has commissioned me with a matter and has said to me, let no one know anything about the matter on which I am sending you, and with which I have commissioned you. And I have directed the young men to a certain place. Now therefore, what do you have on hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread or whatever can be found." The priest answered David and said, "There is no ordinary bread on hand, but there is concentrated bread, if only the young men have kept themselves from women." David answered the priest and said to him, "Surely women have been kept from us as previously when I set out, and the vessels of the young men were holy. Though it was an ordinary journey, how much more then today will their vessels be holy?" So the priest gave him concentrated bread, for there was no bread there, but the bread of the presence, which was removed from before the Lord, in order to put hot bread in its place when it has taken away. Now, one of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, the Edomite, the chief of Saul's shepherds. David said to Ahimelech, "Now is there not a spear or a sword on hand? For I brought neither my sword nor weapons with me, because the king's matter was urgent." Then the priest said, the sword of Goliath, the Philistine whom you killed in the valley of Elah, behold, it is wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If you would take it yourself, take it, for there is no other except it here. And David said, "There is none like it, give it to me." Then David arose and fled that day from Saul and went to Ahash, king of Gath. But the servants of Ahash said to him, "Is this not David, the king of the land? Did they not sing of this one as they danced, saying, Saul has slain his 1,000 and David his 10,000? David took these words to heart and greatly feared Achish, king of Gath. So he disguised his saintly before them, and acted insanely in their hands, and scribbled on the doors of the gate, and let his saliva run down from his beard. Then Ahash said to his servants, Behold, you see the man behaving as a madman? Why do you bring him to me? Do I lack madmen, that you have brought this one to act the madman in my presence? Shall this one come into my house? Yeah, I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. So now you gotta peek the play. David is getting chased by Saul. Saul was named the king over Israel. But remember, Israel didn't have a king before Saul. Now David was a farmer boy, taking care of his father's animals. How is David going? Well, the first dude he came to the priest. So he went to the priest and he got that concentrated bread. But now he went to Gath and he's trying to get in, trying to talk to the king. But when he heard the people say, hey, Saul slung 1,000, David 10,000, he knew that the king of that land was going to be jealous of him from the women saying that. So he acted crazy, let Slav come all out his mouth. He was playing crazy with him. He's like, nah, I can't come over here and take over your kingdom, buddy. I'm crazy. I'm a madman. They don't know Saul looking for him, because he's telling them, I'm on a mission from Saul. At least that's what he told the priest. So it get deep right here, you know what I'm saying, when Saul trying to get David. The priest slain at Nob. So David departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brothers and all his father's household heard of it, they went down there to him. Everyone who was in distress, and everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was disconnected gathered to him. Discontented gathered to him, and he became captain over them. Now there were about 400 men with him. And David went from there to Mizpah of Moab. And he said to the king of Moab, please let my father and my mother come and stay with you until I know what God will do for me. Then he left them with the king of Moab, and they stayed with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. The prophet Gad said to David, do not stay in the stronghold, depart and go into the land of Judah. So David departed and went into the forest of Hira. Then Saul heard that David and the men who were with him had been discovered. Now Saul was sitting in Gibeah under the tamarisk tree on the height with his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing around him. Saul said to his servants who stood around him, hear now, O Benjamites, will the son of Jesse also give to all of you fields and vineyards? Will he make you all commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds? For all of you have conspired against me, so that there is no one who discloses to me when my son makes a covenant with the son of Jesse. And there is none of you who is sorry for me or discloses to me that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in ambush, as it is this day. Then Doji, the Edomite who was standing by the servant of Saul, said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, to Amalek the son of Ertub. He inquired of the Lord for him, gave him provisions, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. Then the king sent someone to summon Amalek the priest, the son of Ertub, and all his father's household, the priests who were in Nob, and all of them came to the king. Saul said, listen now, son of Ertub. And he answered, here I am, my lord. Saul then said to him, why have you and the son of Jesse conspired against me, and that you have given him bread and a sword, and have inquired of God for him, so that he will rise up against me by lying in ambush, as it is this day? Then Ahimelech answered the king and said, and who among your servants is as faithful as David, even the king's son-in-law, who is captain over your guard and is honored in your house. Did I just begin to inquire of God for him today? Far be it from me. Do not let the king impute anything to his servant or to any of the household of my father, for your servant knows nothing at all this whole affair. But the king said, you shall surely die, Amalek, you and all your father's household. And the king said to the guards who were attending him, turn around and put the priests of the Lord to death, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew that he was fleeing and did not reveal it to me. But the servants of the king were not willing to put forth their hands to attack the priests of the Lord. Then the king said to Doji, you turn around and attack the priests. And Doji, the Edomite, turned around and attacked the priests, and he killed that day 85 men who wore the linen ephod. And he struck Nob, the city of the priests, with the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and infants, also oxen, donkeys, and sheep. He struck with the edge of the sword. But one son of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. Abiathar told David that Saul had killed the priests of the Lord. Then David said to Abiathar, I knew on that day when Doji, the Edomite, was there, that he would surely tell Saul, I have brought about the death of every person in your father's household. Stay with me. Do not be afraid, for he who seeks my life seeks your life, for you are safe with me. Man. Dr. Martin Luther King, I done heard a lot, man. Yeah, I appreciate the support. You know, Samuel L. Jackson, MLK, it's all good. So we now in chapter 23. David delivers Keilah. But we ain't gonna go there. Because remember I told y'all when I first started this live, my head was hurting. I wasn't lying. My head is throbbing right now. So I'm gonna take the next 5 to 10 minutes that I got of not driving and just relax and try to relax the pain in my brain, okay? So I will talk to y'all later. Appreciate you for hitting the like button. Appreciate you for tapping in with me. H-Mon, California. Yeah, appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Appreciate y'all for hitting the like button. It's Millionairemission. Y'all know that. Take a picture like Kodak. It'll last longer. I'll be back later.